All right, welcome everybody to today's presentation, Nui Social Recipe for Success, a delicious way to change your lifestyle. Okay, so the main thing we're trying to make here is financial freedom. Okay, that's the recipe. This is a recipe for financial freedom. So what you need is the right ingredients, right? And once you have the right ingredients, you can finally achieve your dreams and goals. Nui Social is the kitchen where you're going to find everything you need. The best part is that once you see how tasty your results are, you can share the recipe with others and everyone benefits. It's as easy as pie. So, the pie pan, blockchain, the foundation is the most important part, right? Without that, none of the rest of it will stay together long enough to finish baking. So, what is blockchain? What does that even mean? Well, blockchain is a new technology that large companies like IBM, MasterCard, Dell, Microsoft, and many others are adopting for decentralized verification of data. The neat thing is that this is the service of providing that is actually rewarded with cryptocurrency. Okay, now what is cryptocurrency? Well, you probably heard of Bitcoin. That was the first, and it's actually been going on now for about 9 years. Okay, so this is not brand new. This is not something that just happened this year or anything. No, it's actually been going on for almost a decade. Okay, but it is actually just now starting to become popular. But why is that? Well, Bitcoin itself, yeah, it's cool and it's neat, and it's starting to allow people to send money across the world in in minutes without having to use third parties, without having to use a bank, and getting charged a wiring fee and all that stuff, without having to use something like a PayPal where you're going to get charged so much in fees and whatnot. No, this blockchain allows for so many things. Number one, cryptocurrency, which is just one application of it, which is it's a cool application, and you can start seeing that a lot of places are starting to accept Bitcoin as payment and everything. But what's really neat is the blockchain is a service, right? And the reason that IBM, Mastercard, Dell, all these companies are starting to look into it is because it's a verification process, right? It allows for trust. Okay, because what it's doing is basically saying, hey, we don't have to let some third party do the verification for us, right? We don't have to depend on them. We can allow for an entire network of computers all working together to verify any kind of transaction. And so that could be used in shipping, shipping products and making sure your product gets shipped correctly. It could be used in maybe elections, right? And voting, and make sure that there's nobody changed your vote for the person you voted for. Maybe medical records, right? You don't want someone going in and modifying your medical records, and changing things. It allows for quick verification, make sure you're not allergic to something, right? So they don't interact with certain drugs that might cause problems, and there's just so many different applications for this. Every from transportation to delivery, commerce, all kinds of things that want to use blockchain for verification because it is the truth, right? There's just no chance of fraud. There's no chance of manipulation. It's all transparent. It what people want. They want to be able to trust. Okay, so that is what the blockchain provides, and that is what Nui is doing. That's what we're talking about here with Nui Social. Nui Social is blockchain. They've got their own blockchain that is going to allow some of these big companies to come in and utilize the service, the blockchain service, without having to worry about what's going on with Bitcoin, which is now being dominated by the Chinese and the Russians and everything. It can be something here in the United States or in the Americas or Europe or wherever, but we can feel like, oh, okay, it's not being dominated by any single government or entity. It's actually decentralized, right? We've got a whole bunch of people all across the world who are participating in this now, wanting to reap the rewards of providing that verification process. Okay, so it's actually really amazing, and that is the foundation. That's what gives us the shape and form of what we're trying to do. Okay, so just to understand that a little bit better, okay, different currency systems. So traditionally we use physical tokens, right? Cash, dollar bills, quarters, nickels, dimes, whatever, kind of money you've got, but it's a physical type of money, right? Then there's digital tokens with a trusted third party. So, like I mentioned, something like a PayPal, right? So if the person wants to send money, okay, to the store, well, the store then checks with the intermediary, right, the third party, and they say, okay, yep, okay, we're going to subtract one from the buyer, give one to the seller, and then the seller said, okay, yep, I can ship the product. But with digital tokens, with a decentralized network like Bitcoin, the way it works is that you have all these nodes, right? All these different computers out there that all verify that transaction. They all say, yep, that works. That person is sending money to the store, great. And so the store says, okay, yes, I trust that all these different computers, all these different nodes out there are verifying that transaction. So now it's safe to send my product to the buyer, right? So it's really neat how it works. And the neat thing about it is that it's lucrative, right? Because as we participate in that verification process, then we get rewarded with new coins. Okay, so the main ingredients for our recipe are comparing flour, salt, and sugar, right? That's what gives it its consistency, its nutrition, and it's what makes it sweet, okay? So Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you are dead, right? We don't want that. We want to find residual income, okay? So Nui provides that residual income with the Kala Core Reach platform and the Mintage mining platform, right? So two separate concepts that provide residual income, right? So Mintage is exactly what we were talking about with the whole blockchain thing, where we actually do that mining process. That whole verification process is called mining, and it's called mining because there's an analogy of mining gold, right? So if you participate in mining, you get to actually get rewarded with the new coins that are being produced. The problem with today is that most mining is overly expensive, overly complicated. Most people don't understand it, and there's a lot of competition, and so it just ends up being not lucrative for the average person, right? However, what Mintage provides is a way for the average person, the normal everyday person, to participate in mining and actually earn, right? Get payout from that mining process. Okay, in a very simplified form. You could think of it as like a travel agent who goes and does all the work for you, right? And finds you the best deals and everything. That's what they do, right? Mintage has the hardware. They've got the software, the algorithm, the artificial intelligence that knows which of all the coins are the best ones to mine at any given moment. They're going to they're going to be the most lucrative, all that stuff, right? They provide the platform. They provide it very simple. So all you do is rent the hardware, right? You rent from them what they've got. You're renting basically hash power, right? Hash power and the algorithm, the software that makes it all possible. Okay, so just like if you were to go rent a backhoe that you wanted to go use and dig, gold out of the ground, okay, and it's the same thing. You're renting the hardware, the hash power, the software that makes it all possible. You can start with just as little as $25 in mining capacity and go as high as you want, right? And Mintage will then go and mine all the traditional coins and in for 3 years, right? They're 3-year agreements, and you get to receive the results of that, right? You get a weekly payout based on the results of the mining. Okay. The other side is the Core Reach Kala triangle. So what that is something really neat. So Nui has put together with a company called Symmetry this platform where individuals can participate in mining in a brand new way. So the traditional kind is called proof of work, but the new kind is called proof of effort. And that is where you get to participate in watching videos, downloading games and apps on your phone, doing surveys, doing product trials, all kinds of fun things, right? All kinds of little activities you can do daily or weekly, whatever you want. And every time you do those activities, it produces some points that are then converted into their very own cryptocurrency called Kala. So Kala now is based on the Bitcoin technology. Okay, so it's a cryptocurrency, but it actually has some neat features about it that give it what we call inherent value. So traditional coins, that the kind that you mine with mintage, they are what we would consider investment coins. They're just a store of value. They hold the value that you have. If you purchase some crypto for like $100, right? It hopefully should maintain that. Could go up, could go down a little bit in value, just like gold, right? If you were to buy gold, gold goes up and down in value, that kind of thing. But the idea is that it's a store of value, and you can then, if it was Bitcoin, you could send that to somebody, right? But not a lot of places actually let you spend it, right? To actually spend your Bitcoin is not super easy, right? And it's doable. There's places that take it, but it's not fast and it's not super easy. Okay, so what Minted, or not Minted, but what Nui with Symmetry has put together is a platform called Reach, where you can actually spend your Callas, right? So number one, you can mine them very easily by doing daily activities from your computer or cell phone. And then once you have them, you can go spend them very easily for goods and services at the Reach Redemption Center and obtain some great value there. Discounted pricing on all kinds of things. So now Kala has inherent value, and it's something that gives it, makes it actually really sweet. When you're getting a deal, that you say, hey, that's sweet, right? So love it. Okay, next ingredient are yeast and eggs, right? And it's what holds it all together and makes it start to grow, right? So that's the important role of eggs, is that you put those eggs in there to kind of give it that, it's like the glue that holds it together, right? And then of course the yeast is what makes it rise, right? Makes it starts to expand and grow. Albert Einstein said, compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. So with mintage mining, it allows for real weekly compounding of the mining results, right? Traditional mining, unfortunately, if you're doing mining directly with a mining company or other companies, network marketing companies that do mining, their packages are usually right around $250 to $500 or more to participate, right? And it's very expensive. And so, you basically get in once and you just kind of leave it, right? You may buy another pack, later down the road, but overall, you're not really trying to compound it, right? You're just letting it do its thing. Well, with mintage, we have the opportunity on a weekly basis, since the payouts are weekly, and you can repurchase or purchase more mining capacity for as little as $1. Okay, you can actually maximize your results by compounding. So, if you put in only, let's say you put in just $100, and it's paying out a 2% payout per week. Well, then you get $2, and you can actually purchase now 2 more mining units and compound, right? So the following week you're getting paid on 102 instead of just 100. So it allows for true compounding, just like the penny that doubles every day. The question is asked, what would you rather have? A penny that doubles each day, or $1,000 a day for 30 days, right? And if you took that $1,000 a day for 30 days, at the end of the 30 days, you'd have $30,000. But if you took the penny doubled each day for 30 days, at the end of 30 days, you actually have over $5 million, right? And so it's the power of compounding is amazing. It really expands things a lot. Okay. And then of course with Kala, as a utility coin, it increases in value the more it is used, and it provides true inherent value from how it is mined and how it is spent. Just like if you know the story of Bitcoin, Bitcoin started out 9 years ago, it was worth pennies. And then it started to go up in value. It reached $1, and then it went to $10, and just kept going. And today it's worth about $6,000 a coin, right? So those that bought or mined Bitcoin back years ago, they all of a sudden became almost instant millionaires, depending on how much they had, right? But it was amazing how it went up in value because of its scarcity, right? Because there's a limited supply and the demand, right? Supply and demand, and that's what makes it grow. And that's the same thing with Kala. Kala has a limited supply, and there will be a huge demand for it as it gets out there. On the exchanges and in the world, people are using it to purchase in the Reach Redemption Center and all that stuff. Kala will absolutely go up in value. It will be like the yeast that causes it to rise and grow. Okay, so next ingredient, the filling. Okay, now this is what I call leveraging. So you get to pick whatever flavor you want in your pie. It could be chocolate, fruit flavor, whatever you like, right? All kinds of different flavors. And that's what's neat about what we're doing with everything in Nui is that we actually now get to leverage, okay, and do team building. Team building. So J. Paul Getty said, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. Team building allows for you to maximize your results by duplicating efforts, by doing personal development, by training and showing leadership, all those things, right? And then the neat thing about it is you get to pick who you work with and the culture of your team. So, instead of, at a job where you just basically get assigned who you're working with, right? And you may or may not like them, with team building, with being able to do your own home-based business, you actually get to pick the people you're going to work with, right? And you get to, strategize with them and do all kinds of neat things with them. Help them to do personal development, help them learn how this all works. You strengthen each other, you lift each other up when times are hard, all that stuff, right? It's so neat the way that team building works. Okay, so especially if you have a product and a service that actually provides true residual income and it provides true compounding, then yeah, you would talk about that all day long, right? I know there's some people that are nervous about that don't want to do any kind of team building, that don't want to have to recruit, right? Well, the neat thing about this is that we don't have to do that. We're not selling, right? The reason people don't want to recruit is because they think they're selling, but we're not selling. What we're doing is we're sharing the good word. we're telling spreading the good news about this amazing new concept of being able to participate in crypto and mining, and it's fun. It's really fun, and so there's nothing to be nervous about, right? If you went to a fine restaurant and you liked it, you wouldn't have any problem telling other people about that restaurant and saying it was good, right? We do it all the time on Yelp or wherever. If we see a movie and we like it, we tell our friends and family, put it on social media. We say, hey, this movie was really good. You should go watch it, right? I mean, that's just normal. That's absolutely normal. We're not recruiting, we're recommending. Okay, we're just telling other people how cool it was. And that's what we do here. Okay, so we get to tell people about how cool our service is with mining and everything else. And because it's free. You can join Mintage Mining for free. You can participate. There's no risk involved. Test it out, right? Then there's nothing to be nervous about. So the idea of team building, the idea of inviting others to be part of your team, it doesn't have to be scary anymore, right? And you get to pick the ones you work with. So it's really fun, and it really does work. Okay, so then after you have those three components, okay, then you got to bake it. You got to put on the heat, 90 days. So once you have all those ingredients, you want to make sure that it's cooked, right? So it's going to stay all together, but not too long, right? So you got to find that right balance. If you pull it out of the oven too early, you have a big mess. But if you leave it in too long, it could be too dry or even burned, right? So here's my recommendation. This is the recipe, okay? Decide you are going to go for it for the next 90 days. If you don't go long enough and hot enough, you will not get the result you like. But taking too long to get started and or going full throttle longer than 90 days can just burn you out, right? So how much heat? Well, this is what you do. Daily recruiting, all right? Daily spreading the word. daily sharing with other people, okay? Doing presentations, doing calls, doing trainings, doing meetings, all that stuff, right? Let your family know that you will be in the oven for the next 90 days, all right? That's what it takes. You got to bake it. You got to put the heat on. You got to get the word out. You got to share it with people. You got to take advantage of all those things, all right? So if you do that, then you will be successful. Okay, so then how do you get started? How do we get started? Well, you can join for free to test it out, the residual income, do some core activities to earn some Kala, start mining with Mintage for as little as $25 for a 3-year agreement, start learning about blockchain, cryptocurrency, team building, all that stuff, right? And then once you've gotten a taste for it, once you find out that, hey, this actually works, then you join as a paid member, right? You can join as a paid member for or $150 annually or $15 per month, right? So you pick whatever you like. And then you start team building to earn commissions from the new members that to participate in Core and Mintage and purchase their own membership. And then you continue to compound with Mintage and Kala and start leveraging as you build your team and become a leader in Nui. Right? So that's it. It's very, very simple. Join for free, test it out, do some core, earn some Kala, start mining with Mintage. Very simple, very inexpensive, just $25 for 3 years. That's not bad at all, right? Start to compound with that and then join as a paid member and tell other people about it. Start to earn not just what what you get each week, 2% on average, not what you get from compounding, but just imagine if you tell a few people about this and you start to earn 10% of what they decide to put into Mintage, how fast that can grow. You get to earn when they tell other people about it. You get to earn when they start doing core activities and earning Kala. All of it starts to just to blossom like that yeast that starts to let it grow over time. It turns into something awesome and delicious. Okay? So congratulations. Your future is about to be really sweet. We welcome you to Nui, Mintage, Kala. It's awesome. This is absolutely the best way I've ever seen to change your lifestyle, to really find that financial freedom that we're all seeking for. There's a lot of opportunities out there. There's a lot of different concepts, a lot of different things you could do. But I really believe if you follow this recipe, you will find success. You will create something absolutely delicious that you'll want to share with everyone around you, and then everybody wins. So with that, I'll let you get back to having success. I wish you best of luck in the kitchen. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.